We're back. What's up, everybody? Spencer Agnew here. Thomas Breitbach coming back with another episode of the Wisconsin Rudder Podcast. Thomas, it's been too long. How long has it been since we've hooked up for one of these?
It's been, I think, a little over 4 years. So
Jeez.
we've seen a lot of life unfold. But it's good to be back. Thanks to all the folks that were with us the first time, pestered us in between, and we're glad to be here, old and new friends on the other side of this podcasting thing.
Yes, I'm an old man now, right? I've got some grays, but the running has stayed the same, right? Our love and enjoyment of the sport is there.
Only gotten better. It's like a
Yes.
fine
So
wine.
tons to talk about, tons of info, tons of feedback, tons of gossip that we'll have. So yeah, excited to get back into it. Excited to get back into it. Where have things been for you? What's life been like?
Let's see. Since the last time we were here, I went back to grad school. Got a master's degree in mental health counseling. So I have been working in that world and kind of still doing a lot of coaching stuff and just kind of exploring where the brain and body connect, what those relationships are like, and being able to kind of help people kind of navigate and understand those pieces together. It's been a really, really cool journey. Really grateful to get to do that stuff together.
That's awesome. It's awesome. A highly educated man in front of us here with tons of knowledge. And I love that for you, I'm sure it's valuable. Like, you can bring the mental piece and the physical piece together to help so many of your athletes, but then people beyond just athletics too. So that's got to be impactful and inspiring.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So.
That's that's awesome. You're a dog dad as well,
I'm a
right?
dog dad. Yeah, Ellie the Aussie is 2.5 years old now. She's been with us for about a year and a half. So yeah, that's
Love it.
big steps. Yeah, my step count's going up. Mileage is stable, but dog walks are up, but not quite as high as my partner, who is our primary puppy parent.
Yes.
So
Hey, time on the feet, right? It's all that matters. You get
yeah,
time on the feet, getting the steps in.
yeah,
Love it. Love it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't, it's been 4 years. So I've got three boys now, three little Spencers running around. But it's a ton of fun. Yeah, 6-year-old, 3-year-old, 1-year-old, little Yahoos, I call them. They're doing great, doing great. It's summertime now, so my wife's off, my oldest son's off, everybody's here hanging out, enjoying it. Their favorite pastime activity is to do laps around our house. My middle son, like on his own, puts his shoes on and what are you doing? I'm gonna go do laps. You're three. Why? Like he runs around the house, just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. The other day they were doing it in the rain. I'm like, whatever. I look like a terrible parent, I'm sure, as my kids out there running in the rain, and it's not on my accord. I know everybody's thinking. I get questions all the time. Are you gonna make your kids run? Like, no, I'm not gonna make my kids run. If they want to, they can. Like, they're gonna be around it. But I am not the one out there with the stopwatch yelling at them to go out and do more. No, we're not. But it's fun to see when they enjoying movement is always fun. Is always fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing about the same stuff as I was 4 years ago. I'm just a physical therapist working at Peak Endurance, whoop, dropping stuff on the floor. Peak Endurance Performance and Physical Therapy, coaching people, high school coach at Fort Atkinson, my alma mater, which has been a ton of fun. So it's
Yeah.
just more of the same, but the grind never stops.
Yeah. Typical Spencer Fear in the lead as well too. State champion coach,
Oh
girls four
yeah,
by eight, bringing home the hardware.
dude, that was a long time, like 2 years ago, which is like you said, we haven't listened 4 years. So I guess that's
Right,
not
yeah,
that far
that's
back. It's
half
not
the
that far
time. That's
back.
recent compared to the stuff
It's
we're talking
recency.
about.
Yes,
Like,
it's
yeah,
true. Yeah, so tons of fun, tons of fun.
yeah,
We had a great year, bunch of good girls. Yeah, so we've had some success, which has been fun. It's always fun to see kids continue to grow and develop, and the best part is how many of those kids are continuing to run, right? And running in college, or even without running in college, just continuing to run while they're getting educated, and it's great. It's the beautiful thing about our sport. It can be a lifelong activity, which is super fun, super fun. So we're getting back into this. I think we're gonna make this it's a weekly thing, and we go out here and we chat running, right? I think
yeah.
there's some topics that we want to talk about, some things we want to try to educate and discuss and give our takes on it. Maybe it's not even education, but just like, hey, what does the Ascent Endurance Group think about it? But there's also some nerding out that is going to be done, right? We where this all began, right? We're out in runs and we're like, dude, we just nerd out about running this entire run. It goes by in an instant. Why don't we just record it, document it, and share it with some other people who are like-minded? And there's a lot of like-minded people out there who love to just talk about running. So we're back doing it.
Yeah, we're grateful. There's been so much to talk about, like the community that we're a part of, just super rich with like kids from high school to post collegiate, just absolutely crushing the game. That like it's I don't know where we even start and like kind of what's in, what's out. Like it's going to be so much fun to be able to like have a lot to cover and have so much to celebrate and be able to hopefully even bring in some of those voices of folks that are making a really big impact on the scene around us, and be able to share what it's like to be in those spikes, in those flats, as they're doing really, really special stuff around.
Yeah, I love it. And to take one from another podcast, we want to give the people what they want. So if you have information or topics that you want us to chat about, leave comments, right? Send us comments, send us messages, let us know what you want to talk about. We'd love to give back to what everybody feels like is most exciting, most interesting, because there's somebody else out there who's thinking the exact same thing. Exact same thing. So with things to come, let's kind of preview. What are some different things that you kind of wanna chat about in the next few weeks? And then I think today, with this being just a shorter, like, hey, let's get people excited. Let's just chat about what's been going on. Maybe we talk about some high school and college athletics that have been going on recently. And then maybe we can give kind of one teaser to the things that we may have planned for our own athletics to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we're coming into a time where like there's been a lot of exciting stuff. There is a lot of exciting stuff to come. Um, I think with the Wisconsin Runner label, there's been some really special stuff from a club level in the last couple of years. And recently, especially, we've had some athletes on all sides doing exceptional things. So being able to continue talking to some of those folks and be able to check in and say, hey, like folks 4 years ago that had goals on their radar screen that have since achieved those goals. What's that journey been like, and what's next for them? So been fun to see a couple athletes at the Olympic trials in the marathon with Tyson and Dewey running their qualifiers. Unfortunately, Tyson ran into an injury, wasn't able to compete in Orlando, but punched a ticket in a PR. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll have our own Ty Dinger checking off a
Yes.
major life bucket list around the Olympic trials out in Hayward Field in Eugene in the 5,000. So that'll be a really special one for a really special dude.
Yeah, super pumped for Ty. He'll be a guy we've done a podcast episode with before, but somebody who has definitely gone through some transformations since we even talked to him at that time. So another guy we're going to hopefully bring back on to discuss just his running journey since, right? The successful athlete he was when we talked to him at the time, and how things have changed and transformed for him since then. So it's sub 4 minute miler, Olympic trials qualifier, absolute stud of an athlete and an individual. Super pumped for him. Lots of really, really exciting stuff in the track world in general, I would say, right? Our state is doing some phenomenal things across the board. The high school state meet was a blast, right? The throws, what those boys were putting on in the throwing events is
Gosh.
unbelievable. So it's super fun to watch. But then even just across the country, like outside of Wisconsin, the sport of track and field is in good hands. I don't know if people are watching the NCAA championships, but those 400 runners from Arkansas, that group of women is unbelievable. So it's really fun. I don't think we have enough time to chat about every single athlete or person that we can associate with Wisconsin. There's a lot of fun things going on. One shot I want to give a shout out to Christian Patska, absolute stud, absolute monster. It's been so fun to watch what he's done as an athlete from Wisconsin, where we knew the potential was there going into college, but just his ability to unleash and what he's doing on a national level now. He was the 32nd guy on the descending order list in the steeplechase, like just unbelievable, super fun, inspiring to watch. There as the hometown guy
Yeah.
ripping it.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Easy to be a fan of, and just kind of masterful execution. It's like the way he took control of the last three laps of a pair of NCAA races with loaded fields. Like, yeah, hard not to get geeked watching a guy like that do what he does.
For sure, for sure. So I want to go through. I want just the fan of me, Thomas. What was like one take? Give me one takeaway, one race or one athlete from the WIA state meet that you wanna rep, you wanna talk about. I've
Oh
got
man,
I've got somebody in mind for me, but let me hear yours. Let me hear yours.
yeah. Um, I thought Abigail Sadler had like just a tactically masterful like weekend. Like we've known she's a really talented athlete, but her race savvy and ability to execute, like especially in that mile, was just like unparalleled. She's running at one of the national meets this weekend, so we'll be really excited to see how she does sort of on that stage. But the impact she's had, the range she's had throughout her 2 years in Wisconsin here, um, exceptional, and just some really really great racing from a great athlete.
Yeah, absolutely unreal to watch her just like tactically execute that 1600. Just
Yeah.
unbelievable. And gives us all confidence that she's going to be a player at the next level, right? Like
Yes.
what she's going to be able to do, especially in the program she's going to, right? At Harvard,
Yeah.
she's gonna be great. But she's got the skill set, she's got the tools to be a big time player. It's super
Mhm.
fun to watch. Really, really
Yeah.
exciting. So funny story with her. We saw her at a triple duel this year at Milton. She ran the 3200. I was seeing her warming up, running around. I didn't think she was going to be running anything. And we had some of our freshman boys in the 3200. And our freshman boys, like they worry about themselves, right? As most freshman
Sure.
boys do, right? They don't know much about what's going on around them. They had no idea who she was when she stood on the line. And they were worried about some other boys from Stoughton that they were having to run against. Well, the race gets out. They get out fast, as freshman boys do. They just follow the group, and then they start to work their way backwards. And Abigail is just the tactical expert that she is, continually moving up throughout the race. She started out probably exactly where she needed to be, but then gradually picking off one person at a time. Boys just keep coming off the back of the pack, and she keeps picking them off. And she gets to one of our freshman boys. Um, she got right on his back. He didn't even realize like who it was. He's just like he's running, knows somebody's close, and then lap six, a critical points in the 3200, right, where most people who aren't prepared or confident or understanding of 3200 start to lose some time, right? They're not able to make that move. She makes that move, right? So she pushes the pace. She keeps things ratcheting down, and you should have seen the look on our boy's face. His eyes got big. He's like, a girl just went by me, and as classic immature freshman
Yeah.
boys do, right? Oh my gosh, a girl's beating me without having, it shouldn't even matter, but without having any understanding of who this girl was that was passing him. He had no idea.
Yeah.
She's blown away all of his mile PRs, his 800 PRs. Like she's faster runner than he is, like just flat
Yeah.
out. And it was the best thing for him because his eyes lit up. He got that edge. He said, I'm not letting her beat me. And he stuck and stuck and stuck. And at this time, his PR in the mile was like 5:03. He closed in a 73 at the end of his 3200 because he wanted to beat her so bad. So Abigail, like, appreciate, thank you for saving my freshman boys race. He had a great time. He ran like it was like 1040 high because I think she ran like 1053 or something like that. Impressive, very very
Yeah.
impressive. But thank you for saving our boys race. It was a ton of fun. It was a ton of fun. So yeah, that was just a quick little story from this track season. Had to laugh, but yeah, she's gonna be a dynamite. It's gonna be fun. Great pickup for them.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so there's a ton of great things that happened at the state meets. I could go to the distance stuff, right? We could talk about Manny. We could talk about the 400s, could talk about even just like, okay, what did Charlie and what did Owen do? Jack Hefty, like, okay, distance stuff is what we generally talk about.
Mhm.
I want to talk about the sprints. So, Division 3, Iola, Scandinavia. Where is this? 110-meter hurdles. Winner, Jensen Rice. Sophomore ran 14.6. Awesome. Like, congrats.
Mhm.
Winning the 110 hurdles. The winner of the Division 3 boys 100-meter dash, Jensen Rice, Iola Scandinavia, 10.94. He won the 110 hurdles and the 100. What? Like, most of us are track fans. We know, understand like the order of events, but it goes from the hurdles to the 100. So there was some girl races in between, and then he ran. Unbelievable. It was one of those events. Like I didn't see it until I was scrolling through results, and I'm a nerd. I'm checking all the results, seeing what people are doing, and I'm like, wait, this name looks familiar. Like, unless they have two boys that are named Jensen Rice that are both sophomores and very very good, that's pretty impressive. So I thought
Yeah.
that was for me like one of the sneaky best results of the weekend. In a weekend full of very good
Yeah.
results, very good results. So it was
Yeah.
fun, tons of fun, tons of fun. How about the national meet, the NCAA meet? What was your takeaways there?
Cool to see Parker Wolf kind of arrive. Like he's kind of been that guy that's been in the mix so many times. I think the fact that Mike Smith, NAU coach, and um, Milt at NC State or UNC are former college roommates. Like having them have a rivalry of boys going back and forth with each other is really special. Like we know Nico is the truth, but to see Parker be able to execute well, be able to make that jump. And now we'll see if Nico can get Abdi was third at NCAA's a couple years ago and then made the US team. Can Nico do the same thing of no title, but then a USA singlet a couple weeks later?
Yeah.
Um,
And the fun thing, like that race was absolutely stacked, like just absolutely nuts. To go back, so Wolf won. I got the results here. Nico Young, like we all know what Nico's done, right? Like second place. Kai Robinson, the double champ last year, third place. Graham Blanks, the cross country champ, fifth place. Hapton Samuel was the 10K champ in sixth place. So like he
some
beat
27-minute guy, yeah.
he beat everybody, and it was a super fun race to watch at the end. Closing it was at 152 or something like that over the last 800 meters. Again, being able to demonstrate guys that we know can run fast flat out for a 5K, but then the tactics to be able to close that hard, super fun, super fun. And then Wisconsin shout out. Kale had a good day. He had a great meet. So he was ninth in that meet. I believe he was 14th
14th
in the 10K. Absolutely stellar meets. Kind of just like his coming out party this outdoor season. So super excited to see what he can do over the next few years there as well. So pumped for him. I already mentioned it. The Arkansas women for me were I guess it's hard to say. Parker Valby was put on a show. Absolutely, like absolute stud to see what she did and the way she did it, right? Just like asserting her dominance in both races. Super impressive. The Arkansas women were that for me. Like to go 1, 2, 3, 4 in the open, and then to run as fast as they did in the 4x4, like they can beat any team in the world. Like it's like one of those, like it is insane what they did down there. It's just a group in Fayetteville. So that for me was the highlight, even though again there were so many stellar performances across the board. The 1500s were an absolute joy to watch. So fun, especially that men's 1500. One for the ages for sure. And of course, Washington got it done again, but it helps when you have three horses in the race. That always helps, but still, that's to get it done is unbelievable.
A nice preview of what Big Ten men's middle distance running is going to look like once we have a couple newcomers on the scene. It's going to be a game changer.
It's insane because it would have been right first, second, third, all going to be Big Ten athletes.
Yeah.
Right. And then there were two other more Washington athletes in there. Like just nuts.
Yeah.
And it says here that Nathan Green's a sophomore and Joe Wascom's a junior. Like I'm so lost with all these. We haven't been here in 4 years, and I feel like some of these kids are in the same year of eligibility as they were when we stopped doing the podcast. Like I am so lost at what eligibility is like for these college kids now. But if that's gonna be nuts to have Joe Wascom, Elliott Cook, and Adam Spencer potentially duking it out. We'll see. Obviously, a lot can change between now and then, but the potential is there, and it's fun to daydream about it.
Sure.
Yes. So, all right, man. Fun, exciting. Tons of track to come. A couple weeks, we're gonna have an even more exciting track to do. Maybe we'll do a preview episode next week. Give some of our picks for some of the Olympic trial stuff. Should we call it there?
Yeah, I think this we're old. We ease back in. First mile when we run together, normally north of 8 minutes these days. So we play the game smart, but we play the game to keep rolling.
I've only had one pot of coffee today, so I'm actually I'm dragging it a little bit. I might need to go get some more right now. So on that note, appreciate everybody. If anybody wants to give us some feedback, give us some topics that they're interested in us chatting about, whether it's like fun, dorky stuff like this. We have a fun episode in store for you Wisconsin folks. Thinking about the best of all time. We'll talk about some of that soon. And then we'll get into some more tactical, physiological type stuff as well. So appreciate everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back soon.